Welcome back to the Gauntlet of Greatness. I've got the Affinity deck in front of me. So the way Group A has played out, the Affinity deck is 0-2, kind of an upset, but it's 0-2, and the Pyschatog deck, maybe not as big of an upset, but also 0-2. These guys are not going to make it to the top 8. They're not going to be able to win the tournament, but I've been saying all along, if there's a season 2, and I want to do a season 2, guys, let me know out there if you want me to keep doing this. I'm certainly having fun, so I think season 2 would be pretty cool. But the last place decks in all the groups are relegated. They are out of the tournament for next year, so this is a relegation match. The stakes are pretty big. The losing deck doesn't get to play season 2. I mean, not unless you guys save them out there. I think we'll do a fan vote to see what new decks come in. I will throw the last place decks in there, so if you guys really, if we accidentally kick out a deck that you guys love, maybe you can vote it in there. But you guys get to be Julius Caesar in the arena, right? You get to give it the like thumbs up, thumbs down. So big stakes for the loser, maybe kicked out of the league for a while. Here's the Affinity deck. I think you guys know basically what the shtick is here. Artifact lands, fuel Arcbound Ravager. We are playing from Skull Clamp point in Standard, so we have Skull Clamps, not Cranial Platings. Those two cards did not actually overlap in Standard. You could play Clamp, then Clamp got banned, but Clamp basically got banned at the same point where Cranial Plating was printed, so that's the way the modern version of the deck has gone. All the Affinity creatures and the Thoughtcast are just awesome with the full set of artifact lands. And of course, Disciple of the Vault fuels some crazy fast kills with the Ravager. So that is the game plan for Affinity. The other deck here is the Pyschatog deck. So Pyschatog, it's blue control, was good enough to win Worlds. Factor Fiction is the card drawing spell. There's only 3 Factor Fictions because there's a 4th one in the board to go get with a Cunning Wish. The real combo is Pyschatog into Upheaval. If you can get to 9 mana, you can Upheaval floating 3 to drop the Pyschatog. Or, 8, you haven't played your land yet, you Upheaval, you play your land, you drop the Pyschatog. Nightscape Familiar is also solid. I mean, it's not... the counter spells are all 2 mana. I think Affinity should be faster than this Tog deck, but we'll find out. Let's go play. So I'm going to play the Affinity side of the matchup. And we'll see who gets on the board and who is in danger of getting relegated. Well, who gets relegated and is in danger of not getting to play Season 2. Die roll's got to be good for me, right? All right, what does this hand do? This hand goes turn 1 Skull Clamp, turn 2... Yeah, turn 2 Ravager. They're not artifact lands, but I get to play turn 2 Ravager, and this Frogmites aren't far behind. That's got to be good enough. Yeah, just turn 3 the 2 Frogmites is how this works out. And now what? I guess he does have Chainer's Edict in his deck. Chainer's Edict would be quite annoying here. But instead he's got a Counterspell. Still no land, so what am I doing? Probably playing another Skull Clamp. So that I can play a 3-mana Frogmite and a 1-mana Frogmite and a 0-mana Frogmite. Kind of wish I could put Skull Clamp on things. Yeah, he's going to Counterspell. Pretty good. Now I can't play the free Frogmite, but we got through a Counterspell. Chainer's Edict is still pretty good against me here. Not super worried about... yeah, I'm not super worried about Pyschatog, though. It feels like I can just beat him up in a fight. Wouldn't have minded a land at any point ever. So, what's going on? I have 3 artifacts. So I can go Ravager into free Frogmite. Which does not quite get the Mirror Enforcer down. So I probably don't want to attack into Pyschatog this turn, do I? Alright. Becomes really hard for him to block, though. One card in his yard. Does have cards in hand he can discard, but I mean, if I'm just trading cards for cards, I'm fine with that. Especially with Skull Clamps in play. I feel like Skull Clamping the Frogmite and attacking into Pyschatog is just better than playing Ravager number 3. Which wouldn't get me to the Enforcer anyway. Now, can I attack with these Ravagers? I mean, I don't feel like I'm really ready to eat my artifacts yet. I guess I'm not opposed to eating this Frogmite. Gets him to 2/2. What's than just the Frogmite this turn? I really kind of want some lands. Is it crazy to just eat the Frogmite for 2 cards? Skull Clamp seems kind of ridiculous. I think I just want to eat Frogmite for 2 cards here. Land, please. Of course not. Why would I draw a land? Yeah, I'm still on 5, so no Mirror Enforcer. Chromatic Sphere lets us get Disciple down, though. We're closing in on a combo kill. What does he have a Cunning Wish for that's relevant here? I don't think he's got any kind of mass artifact anything. I mean, it could just be Factor Fiction. I feel like that's my clock, right? Is him Factor Fictioning to set up an upheaval. If I had lands, I could also be attacking with these Blink Month next eye. Yeah, I don't know what he's Cunning Wishing for. I don't know what he has that I would be super annoyed by. He's probably got some creature kill. Yeah, it feels like next turn I get to Skull Clamp as Ravager and attacking the Pyschatog with that. Play Disciple. I'm getting there. Recoil. That's not bad. Recoil is actually decent. Yeah, him bouncing one of my guys. It's a pretty good defense, actually. Because you only get to... Modular only works if it dies. If he bounces a Giant Ravager in my hand, counters are just lost. I mean, obviously, you can sack it to itself as a response to fizzle the recoil, but still. Yeah, maybe that's not... I mean, I'll just treat it like a creature kill spell. But yeah, he's going to draw cards. That is not scary to me. More Skull Clamps. Good gosh. Good God. I need... All right. Well, whatever else happens, I know I want this Disciple of the Vault in play. Finally, an artifact land. Still can't play Mirror Enforcer, can we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Citadel makes 5. If I could... Oh. He's going to counterspell the Disciple. With circular logic. Of course he is. I didn't play my land. That was dumb. If I play my Darksteel Citadel first, I can pay 2. Of course, he won't logic it, but then I have a Disciple. That was not smart. Yeah, I was thinking at 1 mana he couldn't do anything, but he can Circular Logic, obviously. Two, three, four. Even if I play the Skull Clamp, I can, yeah, I don't get to Mirror Enforcer, so. So he's decided he's okay. I guess he's going to discard 1 card or eat some cards from the graveyard, which I'm kind of okay with because I get to draw 2 cards. With 1 of the Ravager. It's kind of an interesting spot where if he kills this Ravager, then I won't get the count. I don't have anything to put the counters onto right now. So I think I want to leave a colorless mana untapped so that I can turn the Nexus into a creature and pick up the Ravager counters. I think that's better than Skull Clamping or anything along those lines. Yeah, I'm no longer pinched on cards. Now I'm pinched on mana and creatures a little bit. 1, 2, 3, he's up to 6. So he's got his recoil up. Alright. I have a land. I afford to Thoughtcast? Alright. He's got recoil. I have to be aware of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This Mirror Enforcer, Blink Moth Nexus, Blink Moth Nexus, Glimmermoid has made it so hard to get this stupid Mirror Enforcer into play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can play a 6th. I can tap out for the Mirror Enforcer. But then I run this. I have the same problem with recoil, losing me all my Archon Ravager counters, which I don't really want to do. What I do want to do is put a Skull Clamp on this guy so I can attack with him. Turns out Skull Clamps number 3 and number 4 aren't the most exciting cards in this deck. And I just have infinite cards. My question is, like, trading resources with him, like turning those cards into forward momentum. Disciple would have helped, and that one's mostly my fault. Land drops would have helped, and that's my deck's fault. Yeah, you want to trade here? I am okay with this. Is he just going to let it die? He goes 1 card or a couple from the yard. Then I guess recoil, he can eat the Nexus now. Oh, it's recoil? I don't remember if recoil is non-land. I can have to discard here. It's hilarious. If I don't draw Frogmite, I think I have to discard. That's funny. I have 8 cards in my hand. And how many artifacts do I have in play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's funny. Skull Clamp number 4, you're fired. Edict is a sorcery. Repulse is pretty good here. Split the Edict and the Repulse. Interesting. I really don't care about the counterspell. What if I do this? I mean, I can play through counterspell. I don't think it's as good for him as Factor Fiction. We'll split it like that. I kind of want him to take this pile. But the Factor Fiction, this pile would be even better with a Factor Fiction in it. Or a Chainer's Edict. Alright, he took the pile I wanted him to take. I don't know if I was right, but yeah. Discard. Skull Clamp number 4, you're garbage. So his pile has a Chainer's Edict that doesn't do anything right now. Has a Factor Fiction, which lets him keep building up to upheaval. He has a Pyschatog. He still has the recoil in his hand, which is annoying. I don't even have a land here. It's crazy. Man, I feel like there's a combo kill here pretty close. But I also worry about his permission. He's got 7 cards in his hand. I don't know what to bait with. It's the Ravager? Now if I get to do Disciple, that's really good. I don't have the mana to activate the Blink Moth Nexus though? Oh, wait. Oh, well, he's got recoil. Is recoil? Man, I can't remember if recoil is non-land. Very much matters here. Recoil is return target permanent to its owner's hand, so he can bounce the Blink Moth Nexus. Okay. So I'm not killing him this turn with Blink Moth Nexus. Therefore, I can go for this Disciple of the Vault. Go. Not paying for this circular logic. I tried baiting with the Ravager. I don't know what else I could do. Made it so it can't Factor Fiction. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm still not going to be able to play Mirror Enforcers. This is crazy. Edict is set up to do. He's going to get to Edict my Pyschatog. I don't know how I was supposed to do what I was supposed to do about that. Wow. The game has been weird. I haven't drawn artifact lands. And I drew all 4 Skull Clamps. I mean, smashing these things into Pyschatogs means I'm up cards. I'm not up a million cards. And, like, he's the one who has the ability to just totally reset the game. And he's been able to stop my Disciples. I don't know. If playing my land first would have let that second Disciple resolve, I mean, and he may have had an actual counterspell. It's hard to know for sure. Then this one's on me. I don't know that I've done that much else wrong. Have I? It's just like I have all in order to get these artifacts into play. They're like 1-mana artifacts that don't do anything. Now I'm finally going to get to play 2 Mirror Enforcers, and he's going to have Upheaval mana. And artifact land. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I activate Blink Moth Nexus, that's 7. So 4. I have the Shrapnel Blast. So if I put a Skull Clamp on it, then maybe he'll recoil, maybe he won't. I guess I can tap Blink Moth Nexus. He's not killing it, so putting the Skull Clamp isn't any different than having a Blink Moth. He's going to go ahead and recoil. Yeah, hard to blame him. I discard Skull Clamp number. 1,000,000. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He had counterspell. I'm not getting upheavaled. That's nice. I just smash into Pyschatog, right? Wearing a Skull Clamp. I mean, Blink Moth Nexus doesn't do much. I mean, that's the land I want to play. I want another Blink Moth Nexus. Sure. Do I want multiple Skull Clamps? I mean, if he lets me hit him for 5, that's great. I kind of want to make it hard on his resources to trade Pyschatog. So we'll just put 1 Skull Clamp on. Repulse. Do I have 7? Yeah. What else am I going to do, right? And I don't want to attack into him because I kind of want to have Shrapnel Blast up. If he upheavals, I'm going to Shrapnel Blast him down to 4. Here we go. Oh, he's figuring out how to pay for upheaval. How to leave enough mana for Pyschatog. Oh, Worker's actually a good draw. Means I will have a blocker for Pyschatog. I go for him, right? Get him to 3? It's gotta be right. Okay. I can't rebuild all that quickly. Are you sure Seal's like I just go Land Worker? Oh, there's the Shrapnel Blast. Yeah, Land Worker, Chomp to make sure I don't die. And then Shrapnel Blast. Right? Alright. What do I have? 11. Backup Skull Clamp's not exciting. There's the second Chromatic Sphere. I have plenty of mana. 2, 3, it's a land. It's probably this Darksteel Citadel. I assume I have to block here. I'm at 19. Yeah, his hand gets this to 9 power, and then his graveyard would have 20-some cards in it. So he can kill me in one hit. The real question is going to be whether he can counterspell a Shrapnel Blast. Nice. You're dead. And that, as they say, is the game. Wow, tough one. That was a slog. Matchup feels pretty good, though. I like these Somber Hover Guards. It seems like flying is actually pretty relevant. I mean, it just seems a lot better than Mirror Enforcer in a matchup against Pyschatog. The rest of it all felt pretty good, though. I don't know how awesome Aether Vial is. Yeah, I mean, I guess getting around his permission is kind of good, but maybe we'll go 3 Enforcer, 3 Aether Vial. Although Aether Vial would have gotten the Disciples in, so maybe the Aether Vials just are better. Sure. It was a slog, but we got there. Artifact lands this time. To go Worker, Skull Clamp. I don't have the blue mana for the Hover Guard, but should be fine. Can Skull Clamp Worker, get the counter onto the Blink Moth Nexus. His hand does plenty of stuff. The infinitely expensive Mirror Enforcer. Oh, I think I actually have it as a turn 3. Sure. would totally trade with that. All right, if I go Skull Clamp, I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, here's the deal. You want to trade Nightscape Familiar for Arcbound Worker? I am okay with that. I didn't think so. I don't think I want the Blink Moth here, right? Because I'm going to tap both the mana anyway. So much to think about with this deck. It's got no third land. Interesting. All right. I have 1, 2. He's got regeneration mana. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. This would make 6, which would make the Mirror Enforcer cost 1. But whatever. Is there value in getting a Blink Moth next this down? I guess there's not. Oh, there is if he might block. No, I gotta play the Mirror Enforcer first. I just kill the Arcbound Worker, right? I guess the danger then is Chainer's Edict. Whatever. If you want to Chainer's Edict away my Mirror Enforcer and let me draw multiple cards, I will allow it. Got the blue mana for my hover. Repulse. That's annoying. Yeah, he played that alright, didn't he? Alright. I have 5 artifacts. 6 artifacts. 7 artifacts. More recoils. Recoil's pretty solid here. I don't need to hit him many times. These 2 Shrapnel Blasts are feeling pretty good. Ghastly Demise. I can live with that. You kill my guy, you spend 4 mana, kill my guy, and I draw 2 cards. This card seems fair. Speaking of cards that are fair, clearly want the Blink Moth Nexus. Clearly want to make him spend regeneration mana. Doesn't actually bring Circular Logic out of play, but prevents him from doing multiple things. I guess, yeah, I guess I should start popping Chromatic Sphere. Funny. Speaking of not having to hit him very many times. I mean, I can pay for, yeah, I could pay for Circular Logic there. Counterspell would be annoying. More Gunning Wishes, probably for recoil. I can eat things as a response to recoil, though, now. How many times can I Shrapnel Blast? Twice in a turn? I run out of red mana? What did he get? Oh, the field card, right. He did get the recoil. Check. Sure, Deep Analysis, go nuts. That requires you to tap a lot of mana. Interesting. Now, am I supposed to just Shrapnel Blast him here? Probably not. Tempting. You're a free artifact. You're a flying artifact creature. My problem is that he has recoil. Which is annoying. But sure looks like I get to hit him for some decent damage here, right? I just can't go all in because he has recoil. Oh, but he can't recoil and regen, which is kind of nice. Although if he blocks and threatens to regen, then... Oh, I can respond to his regeneration shield by moving all in. I see. He's going to take 7 here? Alright, well, I need to eat something in order to make sure I don't die to Nightscape Familiar. So I'm willing to deal 7. Yeah. I'm willing to deal 7. You want to regenerate your Nightscape Familiar? I may have responses. Yeah, he can't regen. If he regens, I'm pretty sure I kill him. I mean, the kill being, of course, to sack artifacts to the Ravager, and then sack the Ravager to itself to move the counters onto the Blinkmoth Nexus. And the fact that I can Shrapnel Blast him twice means I only need to deal 9. I actually only have to get 2 extra counters over there. And he's dead. Especially if he taps his mana for regeneration. Yeah, I think he has to lose the Nightscape Familiar. And then what? He's going to have to Upheaval for no effect? That can't be good against Affinity. Alright, so he's going to recoil the Mirror Enforcer. Which means what? So I can get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I kill him. I think. Do I have the artifacts? If I sack 2 artifacts to Shrapnel Blast, then let's say that's the Skull Clamps. Then the Ravager is on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think I kill him Xaxes. Sack the Mirror Enforcer and draw a million cards. check. This also fizzles the recoils. I don't have to discard. Not that that matters. Right. So Ravager can eat. That's third counter, fourth counter, fifth counter, sixth counter, seventh counter, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's Xaxes. This deck is so crazy. Yes. Kill you. That's how Affinity should win, right? One permanent in play, nothing except the Arcbound Ravager, or the lethal creature. Whee! How was that?
That was good. That second game went much more as expected. The first game, I thought I might have had you.
Yeah, no, I thought I was losing the first game once we got deep into it. I mean, I didn't run the artifact lands. So I'm just operating off these Blinkmoth Nexuses. So like I had Mirror Enforcer in my opening draw, and it took me like 8 turns to get the damn thing into play. It was just this like, and I felt like because I had the Skull Clamps, I could just like throw my resources at your resources, and I was going to come out ahead. And Psychotog's
Right.
pretty good at fighting that fight. But yeah, because I couldn't dump my hand of all those Skull Clamp cards, you actually got up to Upheaval mana. And
Right,
I
right.
top decked that Shrapnel Blast. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I know. I top decked it. The second one.
the second one. Yeah, I thought, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm dead. And then I'm like, all right, I might be okay. All right, he's playing a dude. I'll be fine. Oh, all right. That blast is pretty good. It's, it's a
Yeah.
good finisher.
Yeah, that second game is more the way I thought this matchup was going to go. I was just
Sure.
like, you can't regenerate. If you regenerate your guy, like if you do anything, then I can just kill you. So I felt like I had you in a pretty tough spot.
I was just like, all right, I did the math, and I'm like, all right, so I have Upheaval, and I can play it next turn. If I can get him to throw a bunch of resources at me to not kill me,
Yeah.
then I could do that, and maybe I could, fight the good fight. But Shrapnel Blast in response, I'm like, okay, well, that messes up the math, so I guess I just die here.
Yeah, no, I don't. If you had never tapped that mana, I would have just been content to deal a bunch to you and let your familiar die. But yeah, and you can't Upheaval previously because it's for no effect. Like if we just
Right.
both reset to nothing, that's a huge edge to me.
Right.
I think.
So, right. So I had a hope that you were going to throw a bunch of things at me because you had plans, and then I would disrupt the plans and try. No, I was just completely against the ropes, and I had nothing. So,
all right. Well, the Affinity deck does what it's supposed to do at least once. We got to see it kill people, do ridiculous things. Affinity deck gets the first win, so onto the scoreboard. Finishes third in the group. Maybe disappointing, but it'll be back for next season, and we'll give it another shot then. Psychotog, though, out of the league, barring a miracle save from the audience. Anyway, good games.
good games.
We will see you guys next time on the Gauntlet of Greatness.